To my left, road crews and state troopers are continuing to pick up the debris from a wreck.
The line is wrapped all the way around the old Montgomery Mall to about a mile up McGee Road. And unfortunately, many people that's in the line won't be able to receive the vaccine today because there is a limited supply.
Some did what they were supposed to do, but of course some didn't do. In fact, some didn't even show up to the meeting tonight. So the council says they're going to have to be strict in order to get their message across. The Montgomery area food banks say that they have seen an increase in their distribution in the last 2 years, and they said the challenge now and their goal is to continue to get that food to the people who need it. Participants walked or ran 2.5 miles from this starting point and made their way across the entire city. Fathers Helping Fathers say this is not a one-off event, but they're going to do events like this every first Sunday in a city park. In Montgomery, Courtney Chandler, WSFA 12 News. It's only mid-October, but some retailers already have Christmas trees on display. The holiday season is coming up, and health officials have recommendations on how to spend time with family and friends safely. Jill Norks reports. If you come down Mobile Highway just off of I-65 here in Montgomery, you're going to be greeted by beer cans, candy wrappers, and other trash. But of course, like I said before, there's a lot of excitement here in the city of Montgomery for the start of college football this week. But before I toss it back to you, I got some guys that's gonna toss it to me. Come on, y'all. Hey, WSFA, I'm Courtney Chandler. Back to you, Mark, in the studio.
The ordinance is defeated by lack of majority.
A cry of disappointment from some Montgomery citizens as Mayor Reed's proposed non-discrimination ordinance failed to get approval from the city council. The ordinance would have protected the rights of all people in Montgomery from discrimination by the city. It would have covered all sorts of categories, from age, race, and national origin to sexual orientation and gender identity. The proposal also would have created a 10-member Human Rights Commission, promoting principles of diversity, inclusion, and harmony through the city. Mayor Reed says he's concerned about the message the city council sent by voting the measure down.
If I'm asked, are we as a city committed to diversity, equity, and inclusion of all people, then I have questions about that. And if I have questions on it, I cannot support it.
Reed says he'll be forced to recommend that businesses who have those values go to other cities. The ordinance was unveiled weeks ago, but one of the council members who voted against it said she still had unanswered questions and felt bullied into making a decision.
It needs to be clear conscience because I have to answer to the people in my district about every decision I make, and I want to be able to give a good answer. Because if it's all inclusive, I just don't see the rally of the people that it's including.
This is the first time in my lifetime it come through here.
James Fisher and his family immediately went to their storm shelter for protection. But even while inside, they felt the impact from the storm.
And you could see that steel door, that wind was trying to pull it off.
Thankfully, they were able to make it out safely. But what they saw was an unpleasant picture. Scatters of debris, and little was left of their family home. In all, 13 homes in Perry County were destroyed. 12 were left with significant damage, along with 3 churches.
Damage estimated is probably close to the millions when you think of what people have lost.
Many of the people say they're committed to rebuild. And they said that the community working together and the support from other areas here in the state will help speed up that process.
We've had so many volunteers coming and giving clothes and food and money, and pastors, churches calling us.
Residents say the support from other communities and organizations gives them hope in the midst of tragedy.
After all this is over, it's going to be a great story and great testimony to the grace of God. And
motivation to come back bigger and stronger. When we think about going to a farm, we normally think about going to the country. Well, imagine coming to one in your own backyard. And that's what Carlos Brown has started with Brown Birds.
Around 8 years ago, a friend of mine gave me some chickens from a local farm store, and we had them as pets for a while, and then we decided to get a rooster and start raising them, and ever since then it's taken off from there.
Carlos now manages between 200 to 300 birds, with everything from ducks, peacocks, and of course, chickens, calling his backyard their home.
We never thought, or I never thought it would get this big, but I guess fate just gave me the right components to become a big farm.
Many of the birds he has at his farm he found on Facebook, and each year he adds 5 to 20 new species. But what does he do with so many birds?
We have some here for breeding stock, and then we sell babies and eggs in the spring and summertime.
And Carlos is only 15. And he has a few words of advice to any young person who wishes to follow in his footsteps.
Never give up and never let your dreams be confined to one place.
His goals is to one day be a veterinarian or manage a zoo, and he hopes his business, Brown's Birds, is putting him on the right track to make those goals become a reality. In Montgomery, Courtney Chandler, WSFA 12 News.